second. Mm.
you make a habit of randomly accosting people while they fish? I don't see how that's any of your business. I've nothing to say to my father or those his Telvanni master employs. Whatever this is about, it's no concern of mine. My father managed to leave me out of his life. He can leave me out of his problems, too. You want to talk? My sister Neria works the stables. She tolerates my father's business better than I do.
You change the letters around. Yes, I DSO. D apostrophe SO. Wish I wasn't so damn late to this one. My computer was having trouble. I just want to heckin' play the video game.
Individual. If you're looking to give your mount a well-deserved rest, you've come to the right place. We know how to pamper a loyal Guar in Balmoral. My father? Oh no, has he taken a fall? Or did he ask you to do something for him? He's been declining of late, and I'm afraid he's not entirely in his right mind.
Oh boy.
Oh, Mills. He was so young when Mother passed. I've tried to explain that Father had to work to keep a roof over our heads, but it's been difficult. I raised Mills myself while Father was away, which was often. He's never forgiven Father for that. Oh yes, Father is well regarded among the Telvanni masters, even though he's never aspired to be one himself. Master Drenim trusts him implicitly, and if you know anything about the Telvanni, that's impressive on its own. They don't trust easily.
Well, I don't trust them.
I'm afraid I don't know. All he's been able to tell me is that part of his contract with Master Drenim forbids him from disclosing any of the Master's business, even to his own children. Whatever he's doing, I'm certain it's important. I wish he didn't have to work so much. Master Drenim pays well, but sometimes I worry he will work Father to death. He's just so tired all the time. Even when he finds time away, Mills refuses to see him, and I know that hurts him dearly. I did for a bit, after Mother died. I didn't understand why Father couldn't be with us until I grew up and learned how hard it is to keep a family housed and fed. Now I appreciate all Father's sacrifices for us. I just wish Mills could see it.
Having to work for terrible people in order to make a living. It's understandable. Oh yeah, can I... I keep forgetting to do this. I'll get that eventually. with that key.
Disputes between houses are trivial when one thinks of the horrors of Molag Bal. Will you join the fight against him?
Stay out of Tamriel achievement. Mm-mm. Hi, Counselor Mariath. I have completed an extensive audit of our ongoing business association with the Hlaalu Construct Syndic. While it is true that they provided us with much needed labor and resources, and it was certainly advantageous from a fiscal point of view due to their surprisingly and now suspiciously low bid for the contract, I have uncovered a number of disquieting consequences as a result of this continuing relationship. As far as the construction of the towns of Suron and Balmora, aside from the garish use of Hlaalu architecture when the contract clearly called for the utilization of a more dignified Redoran design, they did complete the work on time and on budget. However, we inadvertently provided them with a foothold beyond Seyda-Neen. This, in turn, has enabled them to establish business relations with all sorts of raw materials and provisions throughout Vardenfell, giving House Hlaalu a near monopoly in these areas. Much of House Redoran now buys all of its local goods through hollow aggregators. Moreover, House Hlaalu continues to expand its influence in both towns, much to the chagrin of our regional councilors. It's clear they had their eyes on these strategic locations, and I fear that they know how to conquer us through business, while we instead remain vigilant against more militaristic overtures. In conclusion, I fear that in retrospect we should never have ventured into this deal with House Hlaalu. In the long run, we may have saved time and gold only to have lost territories that we so desperately require. Manaran Renan, First Clerk of House Affairs, Vardenfall. That was a sneaky venture, wasn't it? Counselor.
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander?
The guy sounds stressed.
My daughter has been gone too long, and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again?
That's just what a player character does.
An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vea can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this. Vea fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous.
Mm.
Bea knows how to evade the house guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you.
Mhm.
Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. He's probably patrolling the town square at this time of day. Briven's soldiers have been trying to get information out of Vea's friends. But those young men and women are almost as good at avoiding the house guard as my daughter.
Hmm.
That is a private matter. If
Oh,
your
sorry.
investigation proves fruitful, and such matters become relevant, we can discuss the particulars then. But not before.
Gotcha.
Like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problems. I only need you to find my daughter.
Okay.
Vea has always been fascinated by the Morag Tong. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up.
Mm.
It's possible she sought refuge with this agent, or even decided to join the organization.
Mm.
Though I hope I'm wrong about that.
Because, like, my daughter has always been interested in murder. I'm quite baffled and confused and confounded.
The Morag Tong? They're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war. But I still find the practice barbaric.
Mhm.
Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission.
Mhm.
Besides, you don't find Morag Tong agents, they find you. Just pray it's not because your name wound up on one of their writs. That is a death sentence.
Well, I would assume so, considering they are assassins. Okay. Female girl. Yeah, I read that one, I think. I have not read this one, I don't think. Testimonials on Bar Dao by Minerva Callow, Associate Chronicler. Bar Dao looms large over Vivek City, both literally and figuratively. The official explanation is remarkably vague. Apparently, the Mad Prince Sheogorath flung the giant rock at Nirn. No one seems to know why or how. It's a curious account, even by Dark Elf standards. I took the question to the streets to see what common folk think of Bar Dao. These were their stories. Names had been changed to protect the speakers from temple reprisals. I began by speaking to a hairy dark elf merchant named Tolvasa. She stopped sorting Kwama eggs just long enough to recount this tale. I hate having a lisp. Oh my god. Oh, my mother used to tell me all kinds of bedtime stories about Bardao. I doubt any of them are true. My favorite was the tale of the lonely Magna Gay. It begins at the beginning. In the story, a star orphan named Una fled into the sky with all her brothers and sisters, but got lost in the dark. She cried out for help, but one by one, her stronger, faster kin fled into Aetherius. Eventually, their songs faded away, and Una was left alone, adrift in the void. Just when she lost all hope, she heard a quiet sobbing. It was lonely Nirn, stumbling through the black, weeping like a babe and trying to lull itself to sleep. Seeing a kindred spirit, Una sailed back to Mundus to comfort the lonesome planet. She named herself Bardao and nestled in close, right here above Vardenfell. Now the Star Orphan and Nirn are never lonely because they have each other. Lovely story, isn't it? A Nord miner called Hodstag took a more pragmatic view. It's a gold mine, that's what it is. Mark me, there's some kind of precious metal in that thing. My mate's a geologist, works for the Gold Coast mining operations, you know. He says it's got all the signs of a rich deposit. He's got a divining rod, see? It's a dwarf contraption, I think. I'm not supposed to talk about it. Anyway, he aimed it at Bardao, and the thing started chirping like a snow wren in springtime. All that's left to do is get up there with a few picks to get a sample. I'm looking for someone who could float me up there. No luck, though. So, you don't know how to make a man float, do you? Of course, not everyone was keen to talk about Bar Dow. A grizzled longshoreman named Donovan had this to say. It's a rock. I don't know how it got there. Magic, I guess? Look, I've got work to do. All right, get lost. Most accounts were fairly prosaic. Given enough time and exposure, even the fantastical becomes mundane. Of course, there were a few truly extraordinary accounts, like that of Kiram, an excitable dark-up scholar. It's an egg, obviously. I often hear the wastrels and peasants calling it a rock. Huh, ignorant twaddle. Only a great fool would look at such an imposing celestial body and call it a rock. Barda was the chrysalis from which will emerge the last child of Vivek and Molag Bal's ill-fated union. On that day, our glorious Lord Beck will spring forth from his temple and do battle with the emerging nightmare child. After 47 days of pitched combat, Vivek will strike the final blow and cast the beast's ruin down into the frothing sea, where it shall break into 36 pieces, none of which will be recovered. It should also be quite spectacular, and also horrifying. That's some Dark Souls nonsense right there. Perhaps the most colorful explanation came from an inebriated orc named Narkzog. named Narkozug. What, that big rock? Yeah, it's a giant hunk of dung. No, seriously, way I hear it, Vivek and Malakath were up late one night, drinking and talking about godly things. You know how it is. Well, I guess you don't. Anyway, Vivek said something about ogres that rubbed old Moloch the wrong way, so he popped a squat over the city and dropped a stink pickle right on Vivek's head. Gross, right? That's Malakath for you. Does make me wonder, though, what is it with Malakath and tongue? When I asked the Doctrinal Inquisitors for an official statement, this was the only reply. It'd be wise to leave such matters to the tribunal. The precise nature of Bardow is a mystery. Vivek's divine mercy keeps it from destroying us. That is all you need to know. Despite the temple's best efforts, the Moonlight Bardow remains the subject of vigorous debate many long centuries after its arrival. The diversity of opinion is remarkable, especially in a city so thoroughly policed by religious zealots. I find it heartening that even a society this restrictive, folk tales and wild theories can still bubble beneath the surface. It's definitely one of the more interesting books I've read in here. Dear Thane Bigley Stormbreast, honored leader of Nord Cultural Exchange, it is I, Rigert the Brash, writing to you in Windhelm as you requested. I continue my study and exchange of information with the little dark elves of Morrowind as you ordered. Oh, right, I remember this one. Okay. Based on Amalexia's Fables for Evening, Self-the-Sill and the Stars. I don't think I read these ones. Or did I? No, yeah, I didn't. Young Self-the-Sill lay upon a patch of moss and gazed up at the stars. Driven by his great love of maths, his mind turned to counting. I shall count every star and give each a name, he resolved. For hours he counted and named, until at length his eyes tired and he drifted off to sleep. When morning came, Self-the-Sill woke with a start and looked up at the sky. Alas, all the stars had vanished. He buried his face in his hands and began to weep, for he had learned a harsh lesson. You see, child, time cages all tasks. The strongest Nixox. A great Nixox trumpeted to his herd, None of you love the master more than I. Do you see what great burdens I bear? But you are twice our size, the lesser Nixoxen grumbled. Better for us to carry 4 bales of salt rice than struggle with 6 and risk great injury. Bah, the mighty Nixox snorted. It's hard work you fear, not injury. The great beast took up its yoke and trudged out into the field. The lesser Nixoxen gathered by a fence and watched their mighty brother take up 2 bales of salt rice, then 4 bales, then 6, 8, 10, until at last the great Nixoxen was laden with 12 full bales. Do you see? It said, straining for breath. None of you love the master more than I. Just then, the Nixox's shell began to crack under the weight. It let out a painful bellow and collapsed under the bales, crushed to death. The lesser Nixoxen sighed and shook their heads. Poor fool, he learned too late that there is no mortal strength without limits. The Tales of the Frozen Guar. A lonely Guar struggled through the ashlands on a cold, moonless night. The wind was frosty and bitter and chilled the animal to the bone. Alas, it cried, I will die here alone in the cold. Just then, the Guar caught sight of a faint orange glow in the distance. A campfire, it barked hopefully. It must be, it must be. The Guar raced toward the light, its feet growing warmer with every step. Soon the cold gave way to a sweltering heat. The air grew thick and acrid, searing the Guar's nostrils and lungs. But still it hurried on, barking, It must be a campfire, it must be, it must be. Finally, the Guar reached the orange glow. Alas, it was not a campfire, but a great flow of lava. The Guar, so seduced by the warmth, gave this truth no heed. It sprinted into the lava's edge and tripped on a loose stone. With one last joyful bark, the beast landed headfirst into the fiery liquid and died. So you see, child, a fool's thirst for safety carries its own risks. Huh. The most beautiful Netch. A netch mother once said to her calf, "You, my darling, are the most beautiful netchling in all these isles. No bull is worthy of you." For years the netch's vanity grew. Many worthy bulls approached her with loving intent, but she rebuffed them all, saying, "Do you not know that I am the most beautiful netch in all these isles? None of you are worthy of me." At length the netch grew old and weary. "Alas, I shall die alone," she cried. A young netch couple passed by her and sighed at her wretched condition. "We must be cautious with our calves," the Betty said, smothering a child with praise but nothing but harm. It sounds like the exact kind of story where parents would look at it and go, "Ah, so I need to be horrible to my kid." The message completely flying over their heads. Oh yeah, I read that one. Okay, yeah, I read that one too, I think. Gotta go down. I really like the books in this series. Right? Like clearly it's, don't constantly puff someone up and only ever give them praise and, feed their ego and make them think they're the best thing in the world, but also that's the kind of thing that I could definitely see a parent taking and going, "Oh, so I should show my child nothing but abuse and hatred and tell them that they're the worst so that they have absolutely no self-esteem at all." When it's like, "No, no, no, you don't need to go in the other extreme. It's okay." All right, so I gotta. Okay, I have to get the performance key either by. I have to steal it from somewhere. Down here, I have to gather information. Down here, I have to talk to Bourbon. A lot of these I can't even do yet. That one guard go? Heck. Okay. The guard is going that way. I think I have a chance. Why do I have to be so close to you?
A toast to drinking.
Yes, a toast to drinking. These guys no idea what's going on. Okay, the Bourbon's hanging out over here for some reason.
Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the House Guard.
They should, I don't know what's higher than captain, but they should promote you based on just how cool your voice is.
You must be one of the freelancers the Council employed to supplement the duties of the House Guard. Very well. I'll tell you what I know. Vaya ran away. Again. I hope you can succeed when my troops have failed. If anything happens to Vaya...
Can you read a phone book for me? I'll listen.
I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Vaya is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust an Outlander. We think our friends may know where she is, but they keep eluding us. Perhaps, as long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Vaya, but the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side of town, and see if you can follow the note.
I'll do that.
When you find Vaya's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Vaya. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it.
just like, can you like read a recipe book? Oh, it sounds even better. Just mix a deep melodic voice with descriptions of food. Oh,
Veya's a born warrior.
ear
Hard-headed,
candy.
stubborn, a real pain in the ass. She can fight like an angry netch, though. I keep trying to get her to join the militia, and she always turns me down.
Mhm.
That's not my tale to tell.
Mhm.
If Councillor Eris or his wife won't speak of the troubles his family has had to deal with in recent weeks, maybe you can ask Veya. If and when you find her.
Mhm.
We started to notice groups of young dark elves gathering in out-of-the-way parts of the city. One of my guards saw them pass a note between them, but they split up and she lost them in the back alleys.
Hmm.
Could be a love poem or a recipe for Kwama cream cocktail. But we suspect it's the way Veya has been keeping tabs on what's been happening in the city.
Can you read me the
May amount
recipe?
to nothing, but the note could give us a lead on where to find Veya.
Can you read crucifix nail nipples for me? Anything. Love hearing some deep voices. Okay. Gonna go find Veya's friends. Wait, is that? Yeah, hold on. Okay, I gotta do some investigating for the actual story quest of this area. The Randy Niche. Look at this little model walk I'm doing.
I love seeing new faces. For a while, it was just the same old miners and the occasional traveling merchant. Thought Carolyn might have to shut this place down. Look at me talking your ears off. What can I get you?
Me running up to various good voice actors. I will bake you a whole sheet of cookies if you just make sounds with your face. Maybe it would be slightly less creepy because I'm not one of the people who wants to like fuck the voice actors. Be like, nope, I literally just want to listen to you. That's it. I'm not even gonna be buffing the old Muppet on it or anything. I just want to listen. I just want to hear you.
At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles. Redoran and Hlalu arguments can get pretty heated. Then I thought maybe the Ashlanders were scaring people off. But after that proclamation... No, I'd rather not talk about that with a stranger.
Can I bribe you? I'm going to bribe you.
I like the color of your gold, Outlander. Just between us, I heard the House Guard shut down the Shulk ore mine. Something to do with violent cultists who attacked the miners and took over the place. Even got the crew chief, or so I heard.
Okay, Travis is one of her friends, right? So maybe I can do multiple stuff at the same time here. Hello.
Hello, can I help you? Wait a moment. You're one of those hirelings House Redoran pays to harass us simple folk. Look, all Veya wants to do is to find out what happened to her brother. Too bad the house doesn't seem to care a swit about any of that.
This guy's voice lines sound like they were recorded differently from everyone else's. I'm gonna blame magical nonsense. Maybe he accidentally transported his vocal cords to the plane of oblivion or something. Yeah, cookies just to talk. Just let me eat cookies and listen to someone tell me a story. Read the Elder Scrolls books to me in a deep, sultry voice, and you get a bunch of cookies. Your choice of cookies, as long as I don't, as long as I can make them. I don't know. There's probably some really complicated cookie recipes out there that I've never thought of. Macarons? I don't know how to make macarons. That's French. If it's French, I can't do it.
Veya wants nothing to do with the house or her father. Why can't any of you respect that? Even if I wanted to help, I haven't seen Veya since she snuck out of town. We communicate by notes, and this one isn't even about her.
Is it a recipe for that thing the guy was talking about? It sounded tasty.
You must know, it concerns Veya's brother. He was an officer in the House Guard before he vanished without a trace. We've been trying to help Veya
I
find
was
him.
hoping he was a chef.
A local tough. Goes by the name of Ashur.
Mm-hmm.
He delivers the letters. We usually meet him outside of town to the northeast. But good luck trying to get any information out of him. Ashur is not known for his conversational skills.
That's okay, I'm large and intimidating.
I think we're done here, don't you? I told you where to find Ashur. He's been passing our notes on to Vea. Just to the north and east, outside of town. Or is this your way of offering to save me a trip, since you're headed his way? Balmer is not that big. Most of the sons and daughters of the house leaders and prominent merchants know each other. Vea's one of us, and we'll do whatever it takes to help her find her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, within reason. And Vea would do the same for us. That's why we're helping her. She really is a terrific person.
Oh, she's got good friends.
I'm not telling you anything, you Redoran lapdog. Sorry about that. I'm kind of on edge, if you hadn't noticed.
Oh, it's okay.
Everyone knows Vea's brother. Or they did, before he disappeared. Ulran was an exemplary officer. Everything House Redoran could hope for. Vea won't rest until she learns the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She ran away because her father refused to give her a straight answer. She suspects he was involved in Ulran's disappearance. Or that he at least knows more than he's willing to say. Is it any wonder Vea decided to take matters into her own hands?
Well, yeah, with how her personality was described makes sense. I would ask that, but, like, obviously he just doesn't like House Redoran. Got all sorts of interpersonal conflicts and family politics and stuff going on in these games. I don't care about any of it. All I know is that I don't like the Telvanni. I don't trust the Telvanni. Anything I can do to fuck over the Telvanni, I'm good with it. Wait, yeah, yeah, it's kind of finding these people. Boy, Dunmer city planning really likes to confuse me, doesn't it? Me specifically. How am I supposed to get the key again? Oh, right, yeah. Under the Underguard in the Rethan Manor house. Only problem is, every time I get close to Nox, I can't pickpocket him. There's someone trying to pickpocket him right now. I don't see anything. Don't worry about it. I won't tell a soul. Can I break into the building? Me and my fellow pickpocketer over here. The problem is, I don't get the prompt to pickpocket him. I get really close to him, and I don't get the prompt to pickpocket him. What is wrong with that? I hope I don't have to quit out the quest and go back to it.
Ow! Stupid dog. What happened? Let me see. I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Leave it alone. There's something strange about that dog.
Where'd it go? Was it a werewolf? Okay, I think I have to go... Bet this place smells really interesting with all the fungi. Hey, psst, hey. What are we hiding for?
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Redoran proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but some of my miners are still in there. Our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct a ritual before the Ashlander interrupted them. Probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god." Or something along those lines.
That's what they're usually talking about.
I was just trying to get me and my miners out of there when the Ashlanders showed up.
Was it the same one I met earlier? He was very nice.
Well, I never actually saw an Ashlander, but I heard a cultist yell, "Ashlander thief! That's our mystical weapon!" That's not an exact quote, but you get the idea.
Convenient.
I don't know what happened after that. I was kind of busy trying not to die. It used to be an ore mine, and we hope it will be again. My crew was inside preparing to start up mining operations when the cultists attacked. The way things are going, we might just have to turn the place into another Kwama egg mine. Well, I never actually saw it.
Alright.
Probably because I heard one of them. Really? That's awfully brave of you. If you see any of my miners, tell them to get their arses out here. I'll wait as long as I can. Or until I hear screaming. Then I'll go to Balmora and try to find some help. Good luck in there.
Sounds like you got a plan there. Here, culty, cultists, I'm gonna smack your asses flat into the mushrooms. And I caught it cult. Oh, I didn't get to read it all. Apples. I was looking through my Redwall cookbook the other day, and I really want to make a couple of the recipes. One of them being the honey-baked apples with the custard sauce. This sounds so good. I also want to make the squirrel mum cake again, but using mulberries instead of blackberries. Why must I keep jumping by accident? Thing up there? Oh. Oh. You just had to finish your little prayer first, okay. My red exiles, I need you to infiltrate the mine outside Balmora and recover an item of great importance to our venerated cause and to the elevation of Ashlanders everywhere. Currently, this item resides in the possession of the Nycotic cult, who plan to conduct a ritual in the mine to grant the item the ability to channel unfathomable power. I accidentally exited it. Hello. Why do you people keep popping up out of nowhere? I might as well get the thing first and then go on back out. Just push some rocks aside casually. Sack of cult ritual components includes a small ornate rod covered in runes, a Dwemer crystal, and the burnt remains of a ritual scroll. Where did they... Oh, someone else is going through here before me. What's up, motherfuckers? Yeah! Oh, come on, I thought I blocked that. Okay, yeah, someone else has been coming through here killing everyone, and then they respawn just in time for me. That's why they've been popping out of nowhere. Oh, gotta plug in my little laptop. Oh, somehow I went all the way. Okay. Oh, it went through there. All right. Yeah, what's up? Oh, hello there, random other person. pork? Why is there pork here? Whatever you do, don't feed the troll. They aren't as cute and friendly as I was led to believe. Solid advice. Okay, wait a minute. I didn't get to go there. Hey, what's up, y'all? Stop shooting me. God, ow. Did I not get that? Yeah, let me get the Rudian dust. Okay, I swam around that, looked around that. Okay. Hello. What? Oh. Why? I didn't draw a damn button. How dare you heal? It doesn't need any help. that was that area. Okay. Surrounded by the inner sea, the sprawling volcanic island of Vardenfell dominates northern Morrowind, the ominous ever-smoldering peak of... Hey there, pal. I killed them all. I didn't find anyone alive, though, sorry about that.
Did you find what you were looking for in the mine? Of course. I perfectly understand. I think I'll wait a little longer and see if any of my miners were able to escape from the cultists. Good luck with your mission. Whatever it is.
I'm not sure what it is either, man. Oh. Give me your frickin' key. Okay, where's the... It's this building. Okay, this is just the well. And then... Say Brethen Manor? Gotta find that house. I can't find anything else. Oh. Yep. How dare. Oh, whoops. Oh, I got confused about where that was. I jumped off the wrong part. Okay. Fish. Oh, I can fish so much. Let's hope I have enough inventory space. I'm gonna fish this spot out. Saley, what are you doing? What are you doing, little dog, huh? What are you snooping around for? Do you gotta go out? You gotta go outside? Do you want your kibbles or something, huh? What is it, little dog? Yeah. Just keeps going. Oh, you just want attention, little dog, huh? Luis. Fished it out. I only fillet all of those. No, yet. The moons are dark this day. Parkuti had heard of the dark anchors of Molag Bal, but now he has seen one up close. It made his fur stand on end. Parkuti thinks there is no shame in running away from such things, and he did need to mail his shipment after all. Parkuti, you are invaluable. Didn't I? Oh, apparently I got to pick up 2 today. Okay. Oh, I should have put that on earlier. What? I didn't say none. What's over there? Oh yeah. Investigate the other city. That's awesome. Can I leave you a tip? I wish I could leave you a tip. No, look at you. What are you doing? You rustling around in your sleep, little cutie? Does anyone here know where the Brevin Mansion is?
What is it?
Nothing. I'm not trying to steal stuff. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, no. No fighting, you two. Wish there was another. Wait. Oh, right. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Benar-Rethen. Okay, Rethen Manor House. Benar-Rethen, not Brevin. Benar-Rethen. Oh. Wait, is that... Oh. Benar-Rethen's key is way over there. Okay, so I need to, like, get out of the city first. Okay. Because something's wrong and I can't pickpocket him. Wait, I think I have to go across that way.
What are we drinking to?
Your health. It's down this way, right? Yeah, okay. Just gotta follow the path and eventually I'll end up there, I think. Make sure. Side path. No. Little buggy bastards. What's up there? I'm not here to steal anything. Why would you even think that? well then. Let's trespass. I certainly am. Think I see anyone. I hide in here just for the sake of hiding. Okay, there's someone cooking over there. I don't really need to hide at all. Probably wouldn't see me, but I want to be careful. Wouldn't be anyone up here, would there? Oh. There's one like right over there. Ah! Oh fuck. I'm not even here. Go away. Don't worry about it. Okay, I should have taken that chance. Great. Look, if I could just not deal with this, that would be great. Fucking. Can I glitch it out by staying here and hiding? Okay, messed that up. I was supposed to take that opportunity and run across to the hiding space and wait for them to go away. Fucking. I should probably leave and come back later, but. Ugh. Oh, cool. Tart's on. Okay, gonna go into the other room. Okay, yeah, the sultry Argonong Barg. Sultry Argonian Bard. I haven't read this one before. Wait, will they see me if I read stuff? I just want to read this one book, okay? Red Mountain Drinking Song. It sleeps like a giant, our tower of stones. Red Mountain, all rumbles and moans. It tosses and turns, pray it won't wake. Then without warning, the ground starts to shake. As the world ends, so ground starts to shake. So, hest a flask and say a prayer. Red Mountain's about to explode. Have a drink, but be aware, it's doomed from the mountain abodes. It's doom the mountain forebodes. Lift a glass and curse the day. Red Mountain's about to burst. Drink all your cares away. Who wants to die with a thirst? Die with a thirst. Knock back a fiery flint amid the smoke and ash. Oh, hello. Drain the flask of whiskey. We'll be drunk in a flash. Let's guzzle Snowjama amid fire and flames. Tip back the jar of liquor. Let inebriation bloom. As the world ends, let inebriation bloom. So, heft a flask and say a prayer. Red Mountain's about to explode. Have a drink, but be aware, it's the doom the mountain forebodes. Yes, I remember you. Hello. Lift a glass and curse the day. Red Mountain's about to burst. Drink all your cares away. Who wants to die with a thirst? Die with a thirst. And I need to see if my dog needs to go outside. She's acting weird. Bailey! Freaking dog. Do I not have... It should have drops on. Like, I usually have drops on for everything I can possibly have drops on. I can try to check on my phone real quick. I hope your assignment goes well. Where are they? Okay, they're over there. Going back over there. Oh, cool, you got ESO. I haven't been grinding and I haven't been able to play a lot, but I have been enjoying the game, playing very slowly like I have been. I don't know which house I'm even going to look for. Currently, the only residence I have is, Currently, the only residence I have is, a hotel room that was given to me for free in Solitude and Skyrim. Eventually, I'll get a house, but currently I'm focusing on... Oh, that's because I'm trespassing. I'm trespassing to do a quest, although I often also break into things and steal things. Just scuttling away. Don't mind me. Hey there, I literally did not notice you. What's up? Probably why I should have hidden that one thing, huh? Okay, let me do what I did last time and go hide over here. Let me hide, let me hide, let me hide, let me hide. How did I not notice that one? Where were they? I'm not very good at sneaking. Kinda made a huge character. I'm level, I don't know, 30 or something. Is there a drop campaign on right now? Hold on. Because there was also one on for DST, but I was like not sure if I had it on the other day. Okay, then where do you go? You go... Do you stand in the corner or do you go all the way that way? Okay, you go all the way that way. Somehow I just completely missed them last time. I just didn't even see them. Okay, which direction do they go? Do they go back the other way or do they go around in a circle? Yeah, if you're already level 30, like, calm down. It's a very fun game, but... I don't know, if grinding's your thing, then that's cool, but I'm more into just kind of doing whatever I want. Yeah, it's like, it's not like you can exactly beat the game. I mean, you can finish the quests and storylines and stuff, and there's always new stuff coming out, though, and I don't know why... Like, this is the sort of game that's meant to be played long term. You're supposed to come to it and just sort of mess around and do whatever you want for a while. Yeah, don't burn yourself out, because that would suck. Because it's a game you could really enjoy for a long time, you know? Though it can be pretty addictive. As you know, it's Elder Scrolls, which is always weirdly immersive. Oh, hello there. Ah, you jump on me. Gross. Yeah, I've been wanting to play more lately, but I haven't been able to because I wasn't feeling too good. I'm trying to do other stuff. And a bunch of other stuff to take care of. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could just tune into this game a little bit every day to get the thing and do my writs. Oh yeah, I still have to do my writs. Yeah, what was I doing over there? Oh yeah. I gotta go into the mine and find something there. Mostly I just run around doing quests and other stuff. Gee is nice. I don't think I've done like any... Well, I accidentally did a dungeon when I wandered into one. And I joined another team of people. Oh. Okay, I should have drops on. What the hell? Like, I should definitely have drops on for this again, if it's on. Yeah, like, I accidentally did a dungeon once. I was just sort of soloing. I don't really do a lot of team stuff, and accidentally ran into another team of people. What? The guy's coming over the bar for the roof, yeah. Can you go up there and make sure the water's off? Okay. Give me a minute, okay? Yeah. Yeah, mostly just solo. If I was running around with a team and grinding and going through all the dungeons, I would definitely be leveling up fast, but I don't like power leveling. Like, personally. If other people want to power level, that's fine. I'm just not into it. Okay, that's that area, and okay. So if I take care of this, then go back up that way. Yeah, I've only played, I played the hell out of some Skyrim. And also, played a bit of Oblivion. I don't know if I finished it, but I had a lot of fun with it. you played the VR version? Oh my god. I tried to play a little bit of the VR version when pardon me, Cliff Strider. Oh, you want to fight, huh? Where'd you go? I played a tiny bit of the VR version when a friend who has a VR set got it just to check it out, and I got so motion sick. But I really like that game. And I really like this one too, because you get to explore all the different worlds. Well, they did make Fallout 76, which was, somewhat controversial because of all the stupid company decisions they made. That was the Fallout MMO. Where you could have servers and join a server and there'd be a bunch of people and... It doesn't seem like it was handled very well, though. Yeah, it didn't turn out very good, apparently, Fallout 76. But, like, if ZeniMax, the company that managed to make ESO Online so good, ESO Online, Elder Scrolls Online so good, then, like, if they did a Fallout Online, oh, hell yeah. Hello. I lit that guy on fire at the wrong moment. Oh, we got an archer around here somewhere. Oh, of course we got an archer up there. You distracted me. Yeah, I would totally play a ZeniMax Fallout Online. FOO, foo. Fallout Online. Yeah, I'd be into it if it wasn't, like, automatically PvP. I don't like PvP. I only like, you know, when you enter a PvP zone or do a duel or something. I really don't like when it's, like, automatically, like, oh, the world is cruel and really annoying people are gonna bother you for no reason. Either that or, you know, you could make a server where you choose if it's gonna be PvP or not. Any game that's like automatically all PvP is gonna have the most annoying motherfucking user base you have ever seen. Maybe like multiple people together. Come 7 Days to Die looks pretty cool. Yeah, I like that this game is like, you can choose to duel and stuff, but it's still very into that Elder Scrolls lore. I like all the funny books you can read, and I like all the NPCs and learning about the world and exploring stuff and finding hidden things and silly little Easter eggs. Which is mostly why I solo, because, every time I try to join any sort of co-op game, even though I prefer co-op, very much prefer co-op to competitive, I always, like, I will slowly scour every corner of every little dungeon and stuff looking for everything that I can loot, and I will slowly, meticulously, carefully loot everything. And I'll go around looking for stuff, and I'll accidentally get lost, and everyone will be miles ahead of me, being like, Jenny, where the hell did you go? And I'll be like, there were containers with things in them, and I had to go through every one. What are you guys doing? Actually finishing the quest? Pfft, nerds. Fucking losers. Actually finishing things. Don't let anyone else see this note. Not even our comrades can be trusted. We've got to give this one up. Coin isn't worth our lives. You haven't seen it yet, but I've seen. They're talking about sending us back in to try to deal with the mess, and believe me, they won't be paying enough for that. Problem is, Ruthen has some real loyalists in our ranks. They'll kill us if we try to run too early. Got a plan, though. Lemma is making the squads and planning the route. We'll get ourselves split from the rest and then make a break for it. If this is as bad as I hear it is, they'll probably just assume we died and never come looking for us. We can always find work somewhere else. Yeah, I really like this exploring stuff. I think the sort of co-op game that I'm best at is Don't Starve Together, which is a game where you can absolutely go off and do your own things, but you can also explore and help keep up the camp and that kind of thing. Right? If your inventory is not like 50% provisioning, then what are you doing? Actually playing the game in a way that most people do that is totally normal? Come on. I don't know. I don't know. Because I know that in Don't Starve you can, Don't Starve Together, the multiplayer version. I know it's on a couple different platforms, but I don't know if it has crossplay. Because everyone I play with pretty much just has the, fucking archers. Everyone I play with pretty much just has the Steam version of the computer version, so I never really had to worry about that. Yeah, there's all kinds of servers on DST. You got ones that are PvP, you got ones that aren't. You have ones that are literally just for people who want to hang out and wait to get items from the drops. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Do I not have drops enabled? I don't know how to check on my phone if I have drops enabled. And my internet's been a bit wonky because it's been storming here, so if I open Firefox and while playing this game, it's gonna be like, ah. Nice. Oh, what the hell? Oh, what the hell? Ah, poison. That's poison. Wait, is that a chest? No, wait, that's not a chest. To make sure. Okay, no, that was not a chest. I was seeing it wrong through the fog. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, how the hell do I look for that on phone? Yeah, the Stream Team event. I should have it on. Like, what the hell? Excuse me. Oh. Why are you healing me? Maybe they were asking for help. Okay, maybe they do want help. I don't know. They don't seem like they really need it. Okay, it's okay. You heal your own, pal. Okay. How am I not? Hold on. I know it's connected. I had the other one on, didn't I? Okay, the mines are full of poison. Anything down here? It's kind of cool how you can, like, accidentally team up with anyone in this game, just by fighting the same enemies. Yeah, I hope you're able to finish your stuff okay. I'm gonna try to figure out why it's not showing that I have drops on, because I should have them on. Wait, can I... Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, so far the most I've done in teams is fight through a bunch of Harrow Storms in, you know, the new Skyrim event going on. Where we get them big storms going on. And I have some things that are pretty useful for, I'm gonna let those guys get ahead a little bit. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah. I have some pretty useful things, for helping other people in my team, so I've been using those during the Harrow Storm events and when I accidentally run into a dungeon and have to team up with some other random people. Warning, no unauthorized workers beyond this point. A quarantine is in effect. Disobedience will be answered with swift punishment. Foreman Knox. Did Foreman Knox really type that? Because he kind of seems like a complete drunkard. Is that why he's drinking so much? Because he feels bad for leaving? Oh dear, I haven't gotten to the Imperial City yet. I've only been in Skyrim and Morrowind, which should tell you how slowly I play. Fingers frozen, turning black like ebon stone. If you find this message, send help. I can't feel anything. Me when I'm hit by a slight breeze. Ooh, manganese. No, that's my stuff. Got that orcish stone right there. Okay, that crate's empty. Well, I haven't been to Imperial City yet. Like, I probably could, like... Hold on. Here's Tamriel. I can preview these houses. Yeah, there are places where I can get to that I have not been to yet. Like, what is it, a dungeon or something? There are some way shrines that apparently I have unlocked. No, I'll get there when I get there. I'm in the middle of some. I don't want to leave right now. I gotta discover what's happening with all the poison in this mine. The Imperial City can wait. Master Rethan, you'll be happy to hear that your scheme is working perfectly. Well, maybe not perfectly, but well enough. The recent batch of laborers came in yesterday. They were a sluggish bunch, wary too. But the promise of a few more drakes got them moving. They should make a fine batch. That alchemist of yours, Gavros, is it? He set up shop in the old Daedric ruin. You should see it. Haven't been around that many bottles and burners since my day in the skooma trade. He says he's working on some variation of the formula. You might want to ask him about it, boss. The air in his lab has gotten thick as my auntie's moral porridge. Foreman Knox. Should eat some of those. I will breathe all of the poison, and nothing you can say will stop me from breathing all of the poison. I'm gonna snort that poison through a rolled up writ. Eat some of these things I got here. Dang, it needs repaired. I don't think they stack, but if you need to get rid of them, you could just eat them. You know, if you need inventory space. I often need inventory space because I take everything. Okay, looks like those both in the same place. Want to see what's over there. But, like, generally I try to... I'll take, like, multiple different ones. Like, I just took one for health, health recovery, etc. Maximum health. You know, just chug a bunch of different ones. Lourdes. Finally found some work. Molly should be happy to hear it. Haven't worked up the courage to go home and tell her yet. Figured I'd get some drink in my belly first. She'll be glad no matter what, won't she? Even if it's the bastard did not mind. Sundas. Considered stopping this journal, but my mom always said it was good therapy. Had a bad fight with Molly last night. She didn't want me to take the job. Thing is, she doesn't know how bad off we are. Haven't been able to tell her I've been borrowing from the lenders for 2 months. Okay, go work on your homework, and I hope and then get some sleep, probably? It's like 3 a.m. there or something. Thing is, she doesn't know how bad off we are. Haven't been able to tell her I've been borrowing from the lenders for 2 months. I need to take this work, and so I have. I'll work the full week, even taking meals and lodging in the mine, and have 2 days off at the end of the week to visit Molly and take her the week's wage. Mourned us. Not a bad first day. Wasn't all as I was expecting. Didn't really have to do real mining, though it was hard labor. Boss man apparently found some kind of ruins down one of the shafts. Mining work is on hold, and we've all been assigned working away through the ruins. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't kind of exciting. Are you kidding me? Go away. I'm trying to read. Rude. Don't you know not to interrupt someone when they're reading? How did that not kill you? Come on. Okay, where was I? Wish Molly could see me. A real treasure hunter. Tyrdas. A lot of excitement going around today. I guess they found something in the ruins. I haven't seen anything, and they aren't telling us much. They pulled most of us back out into the mine and have us breaking rocks, which I knew what was going on. Midas. Great news. Me and some of the other workers are getting some sort of promotion. No more breaking rocks. They said something about an experiment, and they need good men like me to help. Best of all, they said I can't tell anyone about it. Can't even write Molly to tell her. It's that secret, so it must be good. This is the best job ever. Oh, you poor bastard. If you don't tell anyone about it, then no one will know what happened. Ugh. Whoops. You're having fun in there. Hello. Heck. Back in this area. If you want me, you'll have to follow me out here. Ow, 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 ow. What the heck is going on here? Argonian does not look right. Can we fight out of the poison, please? Oh. What? It's still affecting me. Not being able to fire breathe. Yeah. Man, Charises, those bastards, always give me so much trouble. They're still hard to fight in this game. Yeah? Oh, fuck. Hold on. Damn it. Son of a bitch. Okay. Forgot to read the damn meters. Our dog scares away the meter readers, and then the tenant in the front house keeps the gates locked, so the meter reader can't get back there, and I have to go back there and read the meter myself. Oh my god, the fall, Maria. Oh wait, I already set them on fire, damn it. I'm a little distracted. In a second, I'm gonna have to go out and read the meter, submit the meter readings to the website real quick, and then come back. Gorb. My masters are truly fools if they believe the scheme will make them rich. True, the substance produced by the formula looks and feels much like the rare ebony ore, but it is not ebony, and any discerning craftsman will recognize this as soon as they use it to produce goods. I've tried to counsel Master Rethan on this subject, suggesting it may be wiser and equally profitable to instead focus on selling the alchemical concoction itself. Though the formula was exceedingly difficult to translate and requires extreme precision to brew properly, the reagents I require to produce it are not overly rare. I could easily produce large quantities. Imagine my airborne form used as a weapon. It would fetch a fine price. And Master Rethan disagrees. According to him, the buyers don't care if the ebony is false, so long as they can use it to produce goods that'll pass a cursory inspection. They will be happy. Ebony is quite rare and difficult to come by, but thus is the source. Our buyers would be able to produce passable fakes and then close shop before anyone discovers this deception. If a soldier dies on the battlefield because his ebony plate was not true, that's no money out of our buyers' pockets. Perhaps Master Rethan is right. I often underestimate the crude avarice that drives so many of my race. As for me, I am content to study and work with such a brilliant formula. Perhaps one day we'll find a truer application for it. Okay. Is there a way I can... No, I think I'm just gonna have to... Okay, just a second. Be right back. Ugh. Okay, I took the pictures. My cute little, very muscular horse. It is short and stocky. I know it's like in the distance, but compared to my character, it looks so small. If I ever make another character in this game, I'm gonna make it the tiniest Bosmer. They're gonna be so small. Just the shortest little Bosmer you've ever seen. Yeah, another enemy that always like seemed to pop out of nowhere would be Oh my god, what were they called? Oh my god, what were they called? Oh my god, what were they called? The four something. I think they're also sometimes called like the Savage Men of the Reach or something like that. They were the people who wore a bunch of like hides and bones and antler helmets and... Oh, that was a seat. You know, we could take a seat. Or, you know, take a breather every now and then. I didn't even need to take that. The Forsworn. The Forsworn gave me so much trouble. Am I going the right way? Okay, yeah. Anything down here? Oh, hello. Okay, nothing up here? No, alright. Larg. Can I, like... Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'll look through there a bit more. Mm-mm. One over there. Mm-mm. Seafood supper. Simple recipes my mother jotted down for me on the occasion of my marriage. This supper serves 4. Mud crab cakes. These do not travel well, but one can use leftover mud crab this way if fresh crab meat is unavailable. You may season these quite liberally, as some find the flavor of mud crab too earthy for their taste. Steam mud crabs enough to obtain a pound of their succulent flesh, taking care to sort out the cartilage and shell. Add the meat to a half pound of equal parts of imperial and barley flour. Add water until the mixture can be formed into a ball. Season liberally with salt and ground peppercorns. Form the mixture into small pies, pressing together firmly, yet with a gentle touch. Fry them on an oiled griddle until crisp on both sides. Grilled badaglier. This dish can be made in advance as it reheats well over low coals, so you can also place it at the edge of the fire while making the mud crab cakes. Just remember to turn it now and then to heat it through on all sides. Gather a quarter peck of badaglier weeds. Bataglier weeds. After clearing them of dirt and any other small bugs, finely chop the bataglier. Place large skillet into the fire, throw in gobbets of beef drippings and melt. Fry the bataglier until the color turns a dark green. Add salt, pepper, and garlic to taste. Serve over day-old bread. That sounds pretty tasty. Source of the formula. One thing has been gnawing at me that I dare not share with the masters, dare not share with anyone. The true source of the formula. It seemed too arcane, too brilliant for even a great alchemist to develop. Not that I couldn't likely produce something similar given enough time and resources, but my method, my language would never be so flawless. Even I can admit that. I found the answer. It was staring at me all this time in the middle of the shrine. Clavicus Vile, a maker of deals, granter of wishes, and not one I would ever wish to be indebted to. It seems this ruin was stumbled upon before in a very similar fashion to how we found it. It is likely they were the previous owners of Bastard did not mine. It is a well-kept secret that the mine is not particularly rich. It produces barely enough ebony to make it worth working at all. And these mer that came before us grew desperate. They called out to Vile. A particular lack of wisdom and foresight it was that made them wish for an endless source of ebony. One must choose words carefully when dealing with Daedra, although in this case it may have been better to make no deal at all. Regardless, some pact was made, and the formula came to them. They must have successfully brewed it, for we found statues here dating back centuries, but suspiciously they kept very little records about their progress or how they used it. In truth, knowing this fact makes me somewhat uneasy. Sometimes I feel like I can hear the statue of Clavicus Vile whispering, or laughing softly to itself. But I made no deal with him. I am simply studying the result. He holds no sway over me. Wounding and Tumults. Recorded by Bothell Bethelus. The following are 2 tales of the Nord hero Wounding and his hammer Tumults. Every town I came across seems to have another legend about him, and every Nord I've met swears up and down that they're all true. Their fascination with these exaggerated heroes is charming in a way, and I found it an entertaining diversion to set some of the tales to paper, as I've never seen them preserved elsewhere. Wunding and the Mountain. Mighty Wunding desired to pass into the high mountains, for he had heard rumors of a powerful troll lord he wished to fight. The slopes were steep, and the snow was thick, and he found it harder and harder to plow his way through. At last he had enough of digging and struggling. He shouted at the mountain as loud as he could, asking it to shed its snow, but the mountain was stubborn and would not listen. Frustrated, he cleared the snow from a rock and used Tumult to strike at it with all his might. The mountain rumbled with pain, and the snow rushed past him into the valley so that he could pass. The mountains remember that pain to this day, so you must be careful when shouting at them. Not all can stand against an avalanche. The melting of the March. In the old days, a great frozen Daedra made its home in Eastmarch, slaughtering Nords and conjuring an unending blizzard. Like any good Nord, Wunding hated Daedra, and he sought to free the land and return it to its people. When he tried to venture into the heart of the storm, he found that his body began to freeze, and he was forced to turn back. As he wandered the edge of the storm, he prayed to Kine for help. Before long, he came upon a shack where an old woman lived. She invited him in, and upon hearing his tale, she produced a small flask. "This will help you reach the Daedra," she said, "but do not drink too much at once." The mead, the sweetest he ever tasted, burned in his belly, and he had set off right away, immune to the magical blizzard. When he found the Daedra at last, they battled all across the land. The magical cold was like nothing he'd faced before, and he felt his strength failing. Without regard to the woman's warning, he downed the whole flask. He burned with a fire so powerful that Tumult roared with flames. The Daedra melted more and more with each strike, leaving steaming pools behind. In the end, nothing was left of the Daedra but the stinking puddles, and Wunding and Tumult were consumed by the flames. The pools remain even now, a reminder of Wunding's heroism. That's a fun story. Daedric Laboratory. Everyone's all gray. Versus research notes. Subject K-14 died of head trauma some hours after the mercenaries restrained her. Administered the formula, but transposition was not successful. This confirms my hypothesis. Blood pressure must remain consistent until the last possible moment. Death prior to infusion results in only partial transposition. This explains some of our previous failures. A powerful sedative could reduce premature death. Must conduct more trials. Subject R32. A perfect transposition. The drip method seems much more effective in terms of yield and purity. Unfortunately, duration of the procedure has dramatically increased. Rate of output may be insufficient for sale. Must be faster. Subject S24. Converting the formula from a liquid to a vapor proved easier than expected. The results are promising. Subject exposed to vapor exhibited signs of transposition immediately. Unfortunately, the procedure drove the subject into a violent frenzy. Recommend further sturdier restraints for future test subjects. Subject S24, Addendum. Subject remains alive despite complete transposition, defies all existing college scholarship and calculation. If violent and erratic behavior is increased significantly, recommend we suspend experiments until this side effect is resolved. Well, damn. Vile Truth of Barbas, from the notes of Pelagius Harbor. Council of Daedrologists in Residence Imperial City. Every true Daedrologist has a favorite prince. We rarely admit it, but it's true. Each prince, while horrifying, has a curious and often hilarious quirk. Sheogora's peculiarities are well known, but when you really think about it, all the princes are a bit silly. Hircine has the clumsy head of an ungulate. Sanguine is an inveterate drunk. It's precisely these eccentricities that make the princes a source of endless fascination for Daedrologists such as myself. Man, I remember the Sanguine quest in Skyrim, where it's basically like a dude where's my car situation. That was great. Unlike the stuffy and aloof Aedra, the princes suffer from the same neuroses, flaws, and childish fixations that trouble men in Myr. They are more like us than we care to admit. As for me, of all the Daedric princes, Clavicus Vile is my favorite, and has everything to do with his loyal hound Barbas. Barbas was great. I have come to believe that Clavicus Vile is unique in that he exists in two persons. This is, of course, the subject of vigorous debate in daedrological circles. I wonder if the dog that bit that lady earlier was Barbas. That'd be pretty funny. Many of my confederates would argue that Barbas is merely a greater Daedric servant, no more linked to Vile than a horse is linked to its rider, but I urge you to consider the evidence. The first and most obvious proof of their consubstantiality is found in art. Crude hand-carved idols dating back to the early Merethic era depict the masked figure of Clavicus Vile standing beside a large hound, as do ancient cave paintings. I have explored the width and breadth of Tamriel in search of Daedric oddities, and in all my travels, I've never found any depiction of Vile that does not include Barbas at his side. I've also read hundreds of first-hand accounts detailing encounters with the prince. Each of those accounts, without exception, features Barbas in some capacity. If we accept the premise that Clavicus Vile and Barbas are at least in some sense the same person, the natural question is why? Why would an entity possessing godlike power allow itself to be bifurcated? I have a number of hypotheses, but my best guess is simply this: companionship. The life of a prince is one of near total isolation. Some princes like Hermaeus Mora and Nocturnal, appear to revel in this solitude, but everything we know of Clavicus Vile indicates that he is a profoundly social being. His love of bartering, his willingness to bestow wishes upon those that engage with him, his bewitching mask, each of these things point to a being that thrives on interaction, conversation, and play. A being so inclined would likely go mad without some companion to speak to, argue with, and complain about. One might even view it as a marriage of sorts, albeit an inverted one. Rather than two becoming one, as in the Pledge of Mara, one has become two, a paradoxical reversal of the Aedric ritual. But why a dog, you ask? I've puzzled over this for years. Again, I can offer little more than supposition. My best guess is that it has to do with power roles. If Clavicus Vile sheared off a larger share of his animus to create an equal, the two would plot and scheme against each other constantly. In creating a canine counterpart, Vile ensures his position as master. Dogs are ancient symbols of loyalty and submission. They are servants and never masters, so it is with Barbas. Of course, Barbas is not always a dog. Like other Daedric princes, Barbas can present himself in a number of different forms. He has appeared as both man and Myr, as animals, lesser Daedra, even inanimate objects. His ability to bend his shape, but retain his fundamental animus, is a power that no other Daedra on record has been able to replicate, aside from princes, that is. Coincidence? I think not. We will likely never know Barbas' true nature with certainty, but the evidence points me to only one conclusion. Barbas and Clavicus Vile are one person in two forms. The master is also the servant, the handler is also the hound. It's a unique and fascinating paradox, the sort of mystery that makes daedrology worth studying. And these kind of books are the kind of books in these series that make every single book worth reading. There might be something interesting in it like that. Ooh, lemon. Clavicus and Barbas are like me and my brain. I hit a level. I'm 31. You okay, buddy? Oh, he's not doing so good.
You made a terrible mistake in coming here. Do you feel it yet? The cold rush through your veins, the stiffness in your joints. Only a matter of time now. Only a matter of time.
Well, I do feel those things, not like a magical way. I'm just really, really
You really haven't
fucked up.
figured it out. You're denser than those stone fiends. Master Rethan brought me on to study a Daedric text.
Ethan.
A formula for turning living flesh into a substance akin to ebony. Not a perfect match, but close enough. Something like that. But what does it matter? I'll be frozen solid soon. Black as midnight. A commodity. Nothing more. Ironic. You mean to rob me, I suppose. The scroll's just there. Have a care with it. Wealth always comes at a price. None. Well, none that I've discovered anyway. I speak modestly when I say that if there was a cure, I would have found it already. I guess I could squander my remaining hours searching for a remedy, but I'm an alchemist, a daedrologist. We don't trouble ourselves with things like hope. I leave that nonsense to priests and children, the mentally ill.
I have this really stupid old joke from Skyrim wherein I played also someone who loots everything and who was a thief and got into everything and would eat everything. And I used to make little comics about my character and my friend DMDB's character. It's probably kind of silly to describe it, but basically, I'm an alchemist while eating something weird is like an old joke. So if I were saying I'm an alchemist, I'm referring to a really stupid old inside joke that you kind of had to have been there for. I'm sorry.
What? Afflicting all these miners? Oh, spare me your crude moral outrage. They were wastrels, laborers that were too ignorant or too lazy to find work anywhere else. This is as meaningful a contribution as they were likely to make.
Hey, that one guy whose journal I read had someone to go home to.
None. I'd invite you to kill me, but given that I'll be dead soon anyway, it's hardly worth the effort.
Well, I guess he became afflicted by the gas pouring out right behind his head, but...
Why do you even care? Oh, fine. I altered the formula, turning the liquid decoction into a vapor.
Yes, I read about that.
Proved to be very effective. Unfortunately, it was nearly impossible to contain. Hence, this.
Probably should have figured out containment beforehand. Now shouldn't you? Shouldn't you? Should you have not? Ooh. Nord armorers and armsmen. A Nord blacksmith feels a particular affinity with his anvil, bellows, hammer, and tongs. For the Nord, the creation of fine, if inelegant, weapons and armor is as important as proficiency with a blade, axe, or hammer. Such skills are learned from youth and are almost mandatory. As the Nord armor and weaponsmith perfects their technique, the forge becomes a second home. Close by is the tanning rack, where the hides of every beast of the north have been measured for their levels of durability and flexibility. Layered on top is iron, steel, and corundum alloys. This results is a steel that holds tighter and bites sharper than weapons from other realms. When Nords refer to their blades as stinging, they mean more than its cutting power. Superstitious Nordsmiths are said to add a drop of wild bee honey into everything they create. The whys and wherefores are misplaced in long-forgotten lore, but the practice is widespread. To this day, no Nord armorer would work a forge without first crumbling honeycomb into its quenching tub. Aww. On the interrogation of witches. I don't think I've read this one before. As the witch hunters of Direfrost have learned through centuries of practice, torture is the only effective method of interrogating a person suspected of practicing witchcraft. Some have asked whether it is acceptable for the witch hunter to lead witches to believe their lives will be spared when, even if they confess to their crimes, they will almost certainly be put to death. It must be answered that opinions vary. Some hold that a witch of very ill repute may be spared and condemned instead to perpetual imprisonment in return for sure and convincing testimony against other witches. Others hold that the promise of imprisonment should be kept for a time and the witch be burned later. A third view is that the witch hunter may safely promise to spare the witch's life and later excuse himself from pronouncing the sentence, allowing another to do this in his place. Well, that's fucking shifty. If these threats and promises do not induce the witch to speak the truth, the witch hunters must carry out the sentence and torture the prisoner according to the accepted methods. During this torture, the witch must be questioned on the articles of accusation, beginning with the liar charges, for the witch will more readily confess the lighter than the heavier. If a witch confesses under torture, they must be, having trouble talking so much, they must afterward be conducted to another place to confirm the confession and certainty that it was not due alone to the coercion of the torture. The witch hunter shall see to it, moreover, that during this interval, guards are constantly with the witches, so that witches will not be visited by danger influences that might aid them or tempt them into suicide. Well, geez. I'm having trouble talking now that more of my teeth are gone. I think I read this one before, but I'll read it again anyway. Necromancy in Modern Tamriel by Waffamelius Masterette, Lorekeeper. Eternal slumber was once taken for granted, but now necromancy has appeared in numerous locations across Tamriel. Anonymous spies have pinpointed the cult of the Black Worm as the insidious force responsible. Hey, I'm investigating them. This sect, once hidden from view, is spreading and offers the weak-willed what seems a guaranteed rise to power. Its chief opposition is the Mages Guild, but with the guild in disgrace in Cyrodiil and banished from the Imperial City, the Order of the Black Worm seems ascendant. Also, they have a cooler name. Hidden cells of the necromancers are called worm nests, led by a priest of undeath who takes the mantle of worm anchorite. Such priests may even have converted to undead form, after which they're called worm eremites. They are never apart from undead protectors, either summoned or reanimated. The leader of this cult is the Altmer mage Manamarco, whose name is never spoken aloud by the cultists. He instead invoked with a whisper as the king of worms. No more must be written about him, as tendrils of power and influence snake far and wide. I think I did something with Manamarco in Skyrim, didn't I? Hypothetical Treachery Part 1 by Anthea Morbier. One-act play, dramatis persona, Malvacian, a high elf battle mage, Inzoliath, a dark elf battle mage, Docletus, a Cyrodiil healer, Shiabas, an Argonian barbarian, a ghost, some bandits, scene, Eldenwood. As the curtain rises, we see the misty labyrinthine landscape of the legendary elven grove of Valenwood. All around we hear wolves howling. A bloodied reptilian figure, Shiabas, breaks through the branches of one of the trees and surveys the area. Shiabas, it is clear. And Zoliath, a beautiful dark elf mage, climbs down from the tree, helped by the barbarian. There is a sound of footsteps nearby. Shiabas readies his sword, and Zoliath prepares to cast a spell. Nothing comes out. And Zoliath, you're bleeding. You should have Docletus healed up for you. He's still drained from all the spells he had to cast out on the caves. I'm fine. If we get out of this and no one needs it more, I'll take the last potion of healing. Where's Malvacian? Malvacian, a high elf battle mage, and Docletus, a Cyrodiil healer, emerge from the tree, carrying a heavy chest between the two of them. They awkwardly try to get down from the tree, carrying their loot. Malvacian, here I am, though why I'm carrying the heavy load is beyond me. I always thought the advantage of dungeon delving with a great barbarian was that he carried all the loot. If I carried that, my hands would be too full to fight, and tell me if I'm wrong, but not one of the three of you has enough magic reserve to make it out of here alive. Not after you electrified and blasted all those homunculuses down below ground. Homunculi? Wait. Homunculi? Don't worry, I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do. What's that? Kill you all and take the ebony mail for myself. Admit it, you thought I had that in mind. What a perfectly horrible thought. I never thought anyone, no matter how vile and degenerate. Why not? Wait, why not? Wait, and Zoliath is the... Yeah, why not? He needs porters, like he said. He can't carry the chest and fight off the inhabitants of Elden Grove both. By Stendarr, of all the mean, conniving, typically Argonian, and why do you need me alive? I don't necessarily, except that you're prettier than the other two, for a smooth skin, that is, and if something comes after us, it might go for you first, and there's a noise in some bushes nearby. Go check that out. It's probably a wolf. These wolves are filled with them. You check it out. You have a choice in Zoliath. Go when you might live, stay here, and you definitely won't. And Zoliath considers and then goes to the bushes. Shiabas to Malvacian and Docletus, the king of Selvanar, will pay good money for the mail, and we can divide it more nicely between 3 than 4. You're so right. You're so right. And Zolia suddenly levitates up to the top of the stage. A semi-transparent ghost appears from the bush and rushes at the next person, who happens to be Shiabas. As the barbarian screams and thrashes at it with his sword, it levels blasts of boiling gas at him. He crumbles to the ground. It turns next to Docletus, the healer, and as the ghost focuses its feasting chill on the hapless Docletus, Malvacian casts a ball of flame at it that causes it to vaporize into the misty air. Anzolia floats back down to the ground as Malvacian examines the bodies of Docletus and Shiabas, who are both white-faced from the draining power of the ghost. Malvassian. You have some magicka reserved, after all. So did you. Are they dead? Malvassian takes the potion of healing from Decletus's pack. Yes, fortunately, the potion of healing wasn't broken when he fell. Well, I guess this leaves just the two of us to collect the reward. We can't get out of this place without each other, like it or not. The two battle mages pick up the chest and begin plodding carefully through the undergrowth, pausing from time to time at the sound of footsteps or other eerie noises. Malvassian, let me make sure I understand. You have a little bit of magicka left, so you elected to use it to make Shiabas the ghost target, forcing me to use most of my limited reserve to destroy the creature, so I wouldn't be more powerful than you. That's first-rate thinking. Thank you. It's only logical. Do you have enough power to cast any other spells? Naturally, an experienced battle mage always knows a few minor but highly effective spells for just such a trial. I take it you too have a few tricks up your sleeve. Of course, like you said. They pause for a moment before continuing as a fearful wail pierces the air. When it dies away, they slowly trudge on. Correct ways of slaying Naretu, 12. Though Naretu is an abomination in the sight of Chiwaka and an offense to the godly of all peoples, it is not therefore to be treated with disrespect, for a human body is a sacred chalice, whether it be filled with the divine liquor of a mortal soul, or the profane fall of an unholy essence. To that end, the Ashaba are charged with banishing the unholy essence while doing all that is needful to preserve the sacred chalice, and so we smite the Ra-Netu with the 17 strikes while uttering the plea for forgiveness. Correct ways of slaying Ra-Netu. Strike 12. The comely beheading. To feint with the high cut toward the approaching Ra-Netu. To step past the Ra-Netu on the opposite side while turning the blade. To utter the plea for forgiveness. To bring the fork of the blade down upon the Ra-Netu between the third and fourth bones of the neck, shearing through from behind. To utter the humble apology. To collect the severed head, lest it be misplaced in the affray, and set it near the body for later interment. Very clear instructions. Oh my god, these are all new books. I'm gonna have to just drink some water soon. I gained a skill line? Sword Wisdom of Sykalar. And so it was that day that Sykalar was in good humor after the morning training, for his students performed admirably in their drills, and he was impressed by their progress. Being of such fair spirits, he invited the pupils to sit round in a ring and seek his wisdom as reward. The youths, having many questions, clamored to speak all at once, but he hushed them and called them forth one by one. One asked, "Master, why do we train only with a sword, when weapons come in so many shapes?" The master replied, "The sword is our soul. Mighty Onsi showed our people in ancient days the way to lengthen blades, and we have known their blessed virtue in our victories since. Focus on it alone, and you will defeat every weapon. You will outreach daggers, roll from under heavy hammer blows, and deflect the arrows of your foe. If you are distracted from the blade's way, you will only be confused, and the path to mastery will disappear beneath your feet." Another asked, "Master, why must we do the same drills every day?" The master replied, You still think like the thirsty jackal that runs toward a mirage. He collapses in the sand, so he would have found the hidden stream if only to search the rocks he sprinted past. Focus on the task before you, and perfection follows. Do not think of what you might do tomorrow, but think only of perfecting each expertise as it is assigned. In this way, you will come to grow as one with your weapon. And so they continued, the master sharing his wisdom of long years with the youths. After many questions, he noticed one student squirming uncomfortably. Irritated by the boy's divided attention, he asked, "You, what is your question?" The boy looked up sheepishly. As a low growl rumbled from his stomach. "Master, isn't it time for lunch?" Sykalar let forth a rare and mirthful laugh. "Hurry on to the kitchens, then. My wisdom may be great, but it cannot fill hungry bellies." That's great. Oh, heck. Forgot about the quest. Since I keep reading things and my voice is getting tired, my whole throat and mouth are getting tired. Because I haven't talked much since getting my teeth fixed. Can you get out of the way? Blech. I'm gonna sign off. They also reading? They're also reading. I'm gonna sign off the stream for now. I'm gonna keep playing this, because I wanted to do a bit more here. And I'm probably gonna lurk on someone else's stream who has drops on. But yeah, if anyone's there, time to go lurk on someone else. I gotta sign off for now. Ooh, bye. End stream.